So first contact between Europeans and New World peoples in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. That's the old rhyme. When Columbus arrived in the New World, he thought he had arrived on the coast of East Asia. He was looking for the Great Khan, which was the emperor of China. Didn't find it. Columbus had hoped to establish a trade network to bypass the Silk Route and to bring the goods of China back to Spain. And it didn't work out. Columbus held on to that idea that he had actually established contact, maybe just farther in with the Great Khan of China. But fairly soon he realized that that wasn't going to work, and so Columbus decided, what we can do is we can exploit these people for regional products, including gold. Because when Columbus came ashore, some of these peoples had trinkets, jewelry made of gold, and so there was some expectation that he could find gold. He didn't find much gold. He put the natives to work, forced labor essentially trying to find gold, gold quotas essentially, and great punishments if they didn't find enough gold. Columbus also enslaved some of the natives. This provoked a response from the crown. They said, you can't do that, and so some of those were actually freed. But Columbus continued to use a forced labor system, using Native Americans in that forced labor system. Eventually, he was actually he was forced to step down as governor of the New World because he was so disorganized, and the settlers were very unhappy with him. But as the New World became settled in the Caribbean, other adventurers came along. One of them by the name of Hernan Cortez, and Cortez was very ambitious. He rose in rank very quickly, and then he proposed an expedition to the mainland of the Americas. So he went on this expedition. He met with Mayans. There was actually a situation where the conquistadors had to withdraw because the Mayans came in more force than they could handle. Later on, he decided that he wanted to move into the territory controlled by the Aztecs. There are some historical controversies or historical points that could use clarification concerning Cortez and the Aztecs. One of the points is the issue of Cortez as a god. So as Cortez and his men landed, the traditional narrative is that Montezuma met with Cortez and immediately identified him as one of the Aztec gods. But actually, if you look at what Montezuma was doing up to that point, he was sending out painters to do paintings of Cortez. The Aztecs actually treated the conquistadors like they would have treated any other outside group. They invited them into their city, showed them their great wealth, and then were going to overwhelm them. Essentially, they would kidnap, they would attack them and massacre them if they could, or make them slaves. So in this case, the new evidence seems to suggest that Cortez was not considered a god by the Aztecs, and that the Aztecs actually were very pragmatic in their approach to the conquistadors. And eventually, of course, the Aztecs were overwhelmed. Really, this was a product of the conquistadors making alliances with the outlier tribes who hated the Aztecs. And so they came in greater force than the Aztecs could handle.